here's a funny story of my father-in-law. When he first met my parents, like we went to Red Lobster, and it was right after, it was before gay marriage was legal nationally. It had just been legalized in Iowa.
Yeah.
And so the waitress is like, "Are you guys celebrating anything?" And my father-in-law puts his arm around me. And he's like, "We just got married in Iowa." And my dad, who's also passed now, my dad was just like, he had the look on his face because and like the waitress is like, "Oh, you're my first one." And that was how he met my parents.
Welcome to Side 1, Side B with Dave and Steve and Sean.
Hey!
I'm Dave.
And I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean.
Today we're doing kind of a follow-up episode. Did the Jam a little while back. I am going to do a band that got signed because of the Jam. My main source for this isn't a band that doesn't really show up in a lot of the histories of like British punk or post-punk or new wave. This is a band that has a reputation as a one-hit wonder, but they're very much trying to operate in the same vein as the Jam. My main source for this, since this doesn't show up in a lot of books, is the Todd in the Shadows One-Hit Wonderland episode about their big hit, which is on this album. But what do you guys know about the song "Turning Japanese" by the VAPORS?
I really think so.
I think I first became aware of that song in the mid '90s, and I remember I was watching probably Nick at Night, and they were trying to sell like compilation albums of like new wave artists, and Turning Japanese was on that. So I remember the clip from that is kind of burned into my brain. So yeah, not the first time I heard of music from infomercial in the 90s. Sean today brought in a copy of his Best of Bread, and I'm pretty sure during the same time period they were advertising that. So yeah, just a hint of things to come. But yes, Sean.
I probably heard it in the 80s because my sisters loved listening to the radio at the time, so I probably heard it. I just remember it being really cheesy, even as a kid. Like, this is kind of dumb, but I like it. I think I'm turning Japanese. So.
Yeah. Well, the version of the album I have is the U.S. release, where that had already become a big hit then, and so it's track one. And it's shuffled around. Some things are in a different order. There's non-album singles and that are on it, and then songs that are cut. It's a different thing, but this is what I got on vinyl. So
I do want to mention that they have re-recorded this song. I've listened to it on like a streaming service. I think it was in 2020 when they did it. Pretty much sounds exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really get that trend of like re-recording your hits. I mean,
I think it's so they can license it to like movies and TV, and their record label doesn't get the money and they do.
Yeah, because I remember
if they're doing, especially if they're just straight up covering it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know the Sex Pistols did the same thing. They re-recorded Anarchy in the UK, and it sounded practically the same except for his vocals sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot in the metal world. There's a bunch of bands that have re-recorded like their first albums, and usually it's like, wow, the music does sound better, but the vocals don't.
Then there's the version of Anarchy in the UK they re-recorded for Rock Band 3, where the vocals are even worse. And they don't have Glenn Matlock playing bass. They just have Steve Jones playing twice.
Well, yeah, that might be because they're like, oh, we can't get the rights to do it. EMI.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I do think it's funny, speaking of Glenn Matlock, there's a super group going around called Generation Sex, where it's I think it might be all three original members of the Sex Pistols with Billy Idol on vocals, and they're doing Sex Pistols and Generation X songs, which I would rather see that than John Lydon at this point. So
I would.
That sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah, I would go to that. 'Cause it's funny because I feel like Glenn Maddox got kind of the short end of the stick of that, because he like wrote most of the songs.
Oh yeah, he was the songwriter for the band. That's why they only put out. There were only 2 songs that they put out before. After he left the band, that went on. Nevermind the Bollocks, and in my opinion, those are the 2 worst songs on the album, and they're the first 2. But yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, Holidays in the Sun and Bodies were the only 2 songs they wrote after he left the band.
I like Holiday in the Sun. I think it's but I think it's dated now, because it's like, I'm gonna go under the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's no Berlin Wall.
I mean, it's fine, but like compare it to like Pretty Vacant or
it's true.
or EMI or yeah.
It was kind of funny because I watched a Sex Pistols documentary where Steve Jones was talking about like playing the songs that Glenn Maddox wrote, and like he's like, oh man, you gotta stop giving me those Beatle chords. I can't play the Beatle chords. And it's like, dude, that's just a fucking chord. Anyways.
Yeah, it's just like normal rock and roll. But anyway,
off topic.
I'm doing that monkey meme right now where he's doing the shifty eyes because I don't like playing chords, and almost exclusively do power chords.
That's
how you play guitar, Steve. The guitar plays you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, the Vapors were discovered by Bruce Foxton, the bass player for the Jam, and they were really like in the same general oeuvre of kind of, like the words that get described for this kind of post-punk, like the guitar-driven post-punk, are like nervy and edgy, or like kind of like the very staccato high treble guitar parts, that type of thing. So it's like in the same general place as the Jam, not as much of a soul influence, but it's in the same like general place.
I don't remember playing bass for this band.
These dudes have mullets.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
The new wave mullet was a thing before the American country mullet was, and it's kind of coming back.
Party in the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and it's still stupid.
Yeah. I think it is a haircut that looks better on women than men. But yeah.
If you say so. What's the name of this album?
Nuclear Days, and we are going by the U.S. track listing.
Nuclear Days.
Yep.
I like the double entendre of the name. That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because it makes you say nuclear, but it's like, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
You heard us say it.
Yeah, this album is like lyrically and musically, Turning Japanese is a little bit of an outlier. It's a lot more of, just like the anxiety-driven British post-punk of facing the incoming reality of the Thatcher administration.
Do you think Turning Japanese is like their take on like, because I don't know that I know the chorus. I think Turning Japanese, but is it like them saying like, oh, I'm turning Japanese because because the nuclear bombs were released in Japan, or do you think it's because
I think they've always denied it's about masturbation, which people claim it is, but I think looking at the rest of the album, it's much more likely about the A-bomb.
Okay. See?
Yeah, I
turning
don't-
Japanese because we got bombed, because they're going to get bombed throughout the whole fucking world. A nuclear day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that masturbation thing must have been something like somebody came up with and it spread, like Marilyn Manson's ribs.
Yeah. I think the we'll get to it after we listen to it, but like I got your picture, people just took that in a direction.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at the cover here. So they got their logo up in the corner. It's a very 80s logo.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a new wave logo. It looks more like an 80s metal band
Yeah,
logo.
Yeah, it does.
It reminds me a bit of Voivod's logo. But it does look very 80s to me. The picture is like that of a weatherman, except the picture is that of a weatherman, and it's over the UK, and you can see there's a little atomic symbol over where I wonder what city that is. London's down here, isn't it?
Yeah, London's farther south.
Yeah, so whatever is in the middle of the country. I feel like I should know that.
I don't know. I don't live there. I know the names of the cities.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
We can excuse it because we're fucking Americans. You know what? British and fucking Europeans, we don't know Europe. You know why? U.S. is big fucking enough.
Yeah, it takes us at least 3 hours to get to the next closest large city, and most of them are about 8 hours away.
It takes us 8 hours to get to the fucking panhandle of Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be really, really nice if we caught up with the rest of the fucking world and put in some high-speed rail so I could just go to Chicago on the weekend. That'd be fucking nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's a weatherman. He looks like he's irradiating. Looking at the back, we got 4 men, 3 with mullets, 1 with kind of a normal haircut. We got David Fenton on guitar and lead vocals, Howard Smith on drums, Edward
The Longshanks.
Baguette on lead guitar,
Bazelget, I think.
Bazelget.
Yeah. So close.
And then look at that, guys! It's Steve Smith on bass. I think that's before I got the beard.
Yeah, you should try that haircut.
I can't.
It's an uncanny resemblance.
I know. You know, I used to be on guitar. Now I'm on drums. I'm obviously going to go back in time and try bass for the Vapors at some
Before
point.
you were born.
And then after that, I'm going to play football, and then I'm going to host the Red Green Show. So, oh, and be on American Dad. So, but yeah, so that's the cover. That's the lineup. On side
That's
1,
it.
we have starting out with Turning Japanese, then 60-second interval, Waiting for the Weekend, Spring Collection, and Letter from Hero. Dave, what can we expect from this first side?
A lot of nervy guitar-driven post-punk. Like I said, Turning Japanese kind of stands out like a sore thumb, but expect something that sounds like a cross between the Jam and Gang of Four, basically. It's not as like hard-edged as Gang of Four, and it's not as soul-influenced as the Jam. But so take those components out and combine those bands, and you have a pretty good idea of what the Vapors sounded like.
I still don't know what the Vapors sound like on that description, Dave.
Well, when we come back, you'll know.
I love you, Dave.
I talk like a music nerd, apparently.
Your level of music nerd is up here, like to the ceiling. Mine is probably about like, waist high.
You should see Dan similarly gets flustered, I guess.
About like Dave's.
Dave will bring up an obscure band, and then Dan will be like, "Who the fuck is that?" Well, Dan wouldn't say.
I don't
that.
really get like upset about it. I just think it's funny because I'm like, fuck, I don't know who he's talking about.
Dan doesn't get upset about it either.
Yeah, but all
I love that you're like an encyclopedia of music knowledge, and I wish I was like that, but I can't do it. Like it's like I have like 20 years where I didn't do enough research.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have a PhD in this, I probably.
Yeah, if there could be a PhD for like obscure, you'd be like the teacher of the PhD program.
And it started just by getting like when Pandora would go on random, clicking on all the descriptions of any band that I hadn't heard of coming up when I was supposed to be working and wasn't. I committed time theft against Pete Ricketts.
Yes.
Fuck Pete Ricketts.
Yeah, when I worked at Ameritrade.
And it reminds me a lot of my youth, where I'd probably spend a lot of time sitting there researching metal bands on Wikipedia instead of doing my homework. And of course, like teachers would be like, "Why can't you take that level of energy and apply it to your homework?" And I was like, "Because I wasn't interested in that."
Yeah.
See, like when I was a kid, like I would go to like, because I lived right down the street from Best Buy, so I would go to Best Buy and I would see an album. I'm like, oh, this one looks kind of cool. I'd get it and be like, no, that wasn't. You know, like
I did that a bunch of times. I'd buy it based off the cover and then be like, "Nope, it's metalcore I don't like."
Well, you know, I will say this. I'm not a huge fan of the Smiths, and like,
Oh, there's two of them on here.
yeah, the band the Smiths, but and it's kind of so like, because like I thought like they were gonna sound way different than they actually did, and I think that's why I didn't like them. But I still don't like him. I don't like Morrissey. I think he's kind of a douche.
Oh, he definitely is.
Isn't it established that he's a supreme douche?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because I bought Meat is Murder. That sounds like a fucking metal album, right? You know, Meat is Murder.
Yeah.
No.
There's
No.
the last track where it's an experimental noise thing that gets kind of preachy about vegetarianism, but I think that's one of the better tracks on the album. But yeah, a lot of it is like, it's very, very jangly, very twee.
Yeah. Well, and then he's got like I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, hey, by the way, Morrissey not here.
Yeah.
I know that was a flawless impression.
I like the Smiths. I did have to adjust my expectation going in because I was expecting something punkier based off of how people talked about them.
Yeah.
And hearing like a couple songs early on, like How Soon Is Now and Panic and Big Mouth Strikes Again.
See, I had actually heard nothing from him. So like when I just bought like, so I had this girlfriend at the time. And she was kind of almost like you, a music like encyclopedia. And she goes, I've always wanted to hear what this was before like all the Pandora and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always wanted to hear what the Smiths like. And she's like, you should just buy it and see if you like it. I'm like, and because I'm like, okay, I want to get laid, so you know. I'm like, all right. So I bought it and paid too much for it because it was Homer's, and, and I'm sorry, Homer's overcharged. I'm sorry.
They did. I don't think they do anymore, but yeah, they
used to.
Yeah,
but
like
I remember one of their brand new CDs the last time I went there, and this would have been probably 15 years ago, was like $22.
yeah, I think it was. I think at the time I bought it was like $18, which is like still like overpriced because you could get it from Best Buy for like 11.
Yeah.
But anyways, and I got it and I'm like, oh, this is not good. I don't like this.
Yeah, I think if you don't like Meat is Murder, you probably just don't like the Smiths. So yeah,
You
because
know,
that's probably
I
their best
listened to
one.
This Charming Man for the first time like not too long ago, and I thought the opening riff was good, and then
That
the
is a good
rest
riff.
of it like not great.
I found out recently that I found a cover of a mariachi band on YouTube doing This Charming Man, and that it sounds really good.
That probably sound better.
Yeah, like with the accordion and like the Spanish guitar, it sounds really good.
I'll have to check that out. Anyways, let's get to Nuclear Day.
Yes.
Side one.
Side one.
Sean talks too much.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, we're going to start with the big hit, which I don't always like it when records start with the big hit, but also it's kind of nice to get it out of the way because then you can kind of approach the rest of the album on its own terms.
I totally
I was thinking
agree.
that too when I was looking at the track list. All right, here we go.
It's like, I don't feel good about listening to this song. My microphone is back on. I know it is, because Steven pushed play. Or record, or whatever it is. Steven? Good bass playing there, Steven Smith.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, I definitely put my all into that performance, and as you can tell, I was the MVP of this album.
Seriously, though, I do think the bass playing, like music,
yeah.
like as a musician playing, that was the best part. I also like the vocals too. The vocals were top notch.
Yeah, I think the bass was actually the standout. That
Yeah.
was kind of funny.
By the way, welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back, you cunts.
Yeah. Oi! That
Oi,
was
you cunt.
that was side one.
That was the British cunt, not the American
Yeah,
cunt.
yeah, the British cunt, the casual, more friendly cunt.
Where you call your friends cunt. Oi, cunt.
One of my favorite AVGN jokes is when he did the CD Amiga 32, and he's just like, I got to adapt to power supplies, so now I got to adapt my swears, and he's just cursing in a British way.
But yeah, that was a really good side of music, and I think the big hit was the worst song.
It kind of didn't fit in with the rest of the songs.
Yeah, you nailed that one, Dave, when you said it stands out as a kind of a sore thumb, kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's fine, but
Yeah.
it's not like the rest of the songs on this are great, and it's fine.
Actually, I think it would have been better if that song had been cut off and like the rest of the album.
I think,
I
I think it should have been a non-album single, but
Yeah,
I could also see why they were like, we should probably put the earworm on the album.
Well, they were probably like, we should put the hit on the album so the album will sell.
Yeah, and that's why they put it first.
yeah,
Yeah.
get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, I think they used to do this thing back then where they would put the hit first. So, like, people could just, like, instead of having to listen through the album to get to the hit, they could just, like, put it back to the first song.
Yeah.
So, like, once Turning Japanese ended, they could just go, "Cheer."
Isn't that so considerate of the record company?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could have made it a single, or they could make it the first track and they pay more money for the album.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy that song. It's a really fun new wave earworm. But yeah, just compared to the rest of the songs, which were almost like Beatlesque pop songs you guys mentioned while we were listening to it, it kind of feels weird to go from that one to the rest of them. I could imagine somebody that bought this album based solely on Turning Japanese might have been disappointed with the rest of it.
Yeah, but also, like, there's a lot of, like, Beatles and, like, the songwriting, but there's a lot of, like, punk in the delivery, too, just, like, how fast every single song was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was definitely like first wave punk fast.
Yeah, not like hardcore punk fast, but
Yeah.
it was, like,
Well, and while
Yeah.
we mentioned that the songwriting's kind of Beatlesque, the bass playing was not at all.
no.
I could argue that because Paul McCartney used to, like, later on, he, like, the original songs, like the original, like, beginning of the Beatles, he was more in the pocket, sounding like he was just part of the guitar playing.
Oh yeah, and then he died, and the guy they replaced him with.
Paul is dead. Paul is dead.
Well, my
But
favorite-
then, like listen to, like, Come Together. Like later Paul bass playing, it's like much more solid, much more experimental.
Yeah. Although I think my favorite Paul McCartney bass line is probably Taxman.
Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. This was definitely more in the if you had to compare it to any part of the Beatles, it would be like Taxman.
Yeah,
for the
later
bass line.
McCartney.
Yeah.
And also, while I say that the songwriting reminded me of the Beatles, the production did not. It's a very 80s produced album.
Oh
Yeah. And part of it is this is a used record. We definitely got the crackle and the hiss on it. Like this is a cheap one I bought at a like a pop-up sale thing, you know, where there's a guy who's there with a bunch of records and just sells them for dirt cheap.
$8.
But
that's not bad.
No.
You know what though? It's funny because I remember buying I went through a mini record phase where because I had got like a record player and there was a shop actually down the street in Benson that I would go to and you could get records for like $5 or something like that. So I could get like 10 records for like not very much money.
yeah. Nowadays $50 will get you like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought see, Turning Japanese, I do like it kind of. I like the guitar work.
It's a novelty song.
It's really just a novelty song, and I can see why it would have been a hit because like the 80s did have kind of a cheesy like pop, because it has that poppy upbeat sound. You could put it in a dance club and people could dance to it,
Yeah.
Got your picture. Yeah.
It may have been about masturbation.
It may have been. I don't think it was because I think if it was and they were trying to deny it, they would have given up by now.
Yeah. But like, you know what makes me think it's about the bombing of Japan is in the breakdown there's like bombs sounding like it's landing or like flying through the air. So I think that it's a little more on the nose than people give it credit for.
Yeah, which was great synth work. I wonder if that was like one of the producers or the band just playing around with analog synths. But yeah, like it's the only real song that has a lot of synth work in it, and it's great synth work, even if the song itself doesn't stand up to the rest of them. But like just using them to sound like the synths to sound like bombs and planes going by and air raid sirens is like really good, like discordant part to what's otherwise a bouncy pop song.
Yeah, like it's got a beat and you can dance to it.
Well, and I think you can combine the imagery from the album artwork to support your theory too, because I think it's like Turning Japanese probably means like we're getting bombed like the Japanese got bombed.
Yeah. And then all that wistful stuff about having the picture of a loved one then becomes about
them
wanting
dying.
to say goodbye to someone before you die. Yeah.
Them dying in an air raid.
Yeah, or that they already died in an air raid. Yeah.
Somebody should do a big band version of this song and then put it into Fallout.
Yeah.
I don't want to set the world.
Next song, 60-second interval. Sean, you had a theory on this one.
It's about premature ejaculation.
It could be. But I do think it was based off of like the lyrics and, you know, like just kind of the pleasant sounding parts and to the more like tense parts. It's about like the quiet moments between fighting in a war where there's, you know, like it's not really peaceful because everyone's on edge.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just
yeah. Well, and it's funny because people turning Japanese into being about masturbation. So it was a good riff on that.
I was thinking that it was a good follow up to a song about masturbation, and that when you actually have a woman, you have premature ejaculation.
Yeah.
Everybody go into Today I Learned on Reddit and be like, today I learned 60-second interval by the Vapors is actually about premature ejaculation. Let's get that rumor started and rival the other one.
And I also want to point out too, the title is a lie. This song is not 60 seconds. It is 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yes.
So they fucking lied twice.
That was
3 minutes and 50 seconds.
I think too, it was a great way to. It was kind of one of the slower songs on the album. Not that it was slow, but most of the rest of the songs were at breakneck pace. So it was kind of a way to kind of ease listeners into how different the rest of the songs would sound from Turning Japanese.
Well, it did. That was when it was the song that made me notice the bass playing, like, because it sounds very like 50s-esque almost. doo-woppy,
Yeah.
not really complete doo-wop,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
it has like this bouncy bass line that's almost like the lead instrument in that part, and I liked that. I thought it was really good. Good bass work.
It's interesting. I'm looking at the original European and the original European pressing, and it starts with Spring Collection, which is the second to last song on this album,
Which
and
was a
then
good-
turning Japanese.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then there's like a song that's not even on this one, and yeah, it's completely mixed around.
Oh
Yeah. Spring Collection would have, we'll get to that when we get to it, but that would have been a good album opener too. But yeah.
I would be curious to listen to the original album just to see like the original, because I'm assuming since they're British, like they're a British new wave, that like this was their original vision for the album. So it's always curious. It's kind of like the Clash
Yeah.
UK versus the US printing, which is
Yeah.
completely different. And I think even like White Riot has a different recording or something.
Yeah. It has the US version of the Clash is self-titled. They use the single mix of White Riot, which also has like a police siren and crowd noises at the beginning, while the original on the album just launches into the song, which the album version's better. But yeah,
Yeah, we recorded an episode on that.
yeah, last season.
Yeah,
And
our fourth most popular episode at time of recording.
and since
Yeah,
I
you should go
yeah.
listen to that one. It was great.
Yeah, and also since I listen to so much music while driving, I have an automatic bias against any song with police sirens.
I remember when I got Megadeth's "So Far So Good So What." There's a song on there called 502, and in the middle of it, the song like fades out, and all you can hear is a police siren, and then it fades back in. But what's funny is on the original version, it doesn't sound anything like the police sirens around here, so it didn't trick me. But then when he remixed it in 2004, the remixes everybody hates, he put in a more realistic police siren.
No,
and I was
Dave, no.
Yeah, and I was a pizza delivery boy at the time, so that freaked me out more than once. But yeah. Think about your pizza delivery drivers. Well, I guess DoorDash drivers these days. When you're putting sirens in your songs, guys.
Think
Make
of the
sure you
burrito
tip 'em.
taxis.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Tip your fucking drivers.
Yes, they're not
That's
making.
our public
Yeah.
service announcement for today.
They're not making a ton of money. Yeah.
The next one, the British version of "Everyone's Working for the Weekend," "Waiting for the Weekend."
It's good that they did a Loverboy cover.
Yeah, Loverboy needed that little extra boost. This one, I like this one a lot.
It's a love song.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like the driving guitars in it. It was pretty good.
I liked the melody on the chorus, and I liked the backing vocals, the harmonies that came in with the ooze. It was just really song like guitar pop songwriting. It was just a really fun song. It had less to say than songs like Letters from Hero or 60 Second Interval, but it was just a fun, really, really solid pop song.
Yeah,
to jump
I
around
thought
to.
so too. I thought it was a good pop song. I thought Spring Collection was really good. Unless you had any more to say.
Keep going. Yeah.
I thought Spring Collection was real good. It had a nice the bass. Like I said, I was loving the bass playing. The bass playing in that song was great.
Yeah.
And then I think to me it sounded like it was like about phonies or like fake people that would like Spring Collection, so they would dress up in their springtime gear, which would be like their punk gear in the springtime. And like that's kind of what it was. That's what it seemed like it was about to me.
That's what it sounded like to me. Although it didn't seem like completely unsympathetic to those people either.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, you got your Spring Collection on now because it's time to get out.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I think it was. I like it that it was the original track one. I think it would have made a great track one too. I need to listen to the.
Yeah, it does
original.
have a good. It does have a good album opener sound. I thought.
Lyrically, it kind of gave me like a vibe like Common People does, where like somebody's kind of living as a tourist.
Yeah, this in a way this does feel a lot like proto Britpop. Like this is kind of like the water that bands like Blur, Oasis, and Pulp were later drawing from when they became a thing in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it also reminded this song probably out of all of them reminded me of the Jam.
Yeah.
Because of the Jam had songs that were like talking about how people were fake and everything, you know. And
Yeah, it's definitely not as mean as Butterfly Collector, though. Yeah.
One thing I'll say about pretty much all the songs on this, I noticed that the bass was almost consistently acrobatic, but I noticed the guitar was very consistently on point, and very occasionally it kind of peppered in some more acrobatic like 80s guitar style stuff, and I thought that was kind of an interesting way to approach it, since it messed around with expectations, I'd say.
Yeah, the solos were all good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The lead guitar player on this was excellent.
Yeah. But yeah, the bass, it's almost like they held back with the lead guitar until they absolutely needed it, and had the bass like going at full steam throughout the entire song.
Yeah.
Good use of dynamics.
Oh yeah, I like the like I said, it was almost playful between the bass and the guitar, in a way, and I like that. I like it when don't get me wrong, I like albums where are bass players that follow the guitar, but I also like it when a bass guitar and a guitar kind of plays back and forth with each other.
Yeah, I like it when bands/songs give a reason for every member of the band to be there.
Yeah, one thing that frustrates me about a lot of metal bands is it's like, why do you even have a bass player?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they one, they get buried in the mix, and then because the guitar is so fucking heavy, so it's like, what's the point?
Right. Well, like you have two people with like baritone or down-tuned guitars, and then you have the bass player, and you're all three are playing the exact same thing. It's like, I don't know, save yourself a little bit of money, like save yourself some beer money.
Yeah.
You don't need the bass player at that point.
That's why
Or drop one of the guitar players and have a guitar player, bass player, drummer.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like the whole local H thing, where it's just like, okay, we're a power duo and we put bass E string on the guitar player's guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time I had problems discerning the bass and guitar, because a lot of the stuff I listened to was just the bass and the guitar were basically just one instrument. So
Yeah.
or sometimes you'll see one of those bands and like the bass player is missing that day, so it's like just the two guitar players, and like their sound just doesn't change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is gonna get. I used to like Korn when I was a kid. Hey,
Yeah, you were a kid.
I was a kid.
Are you ready?
But
Wow, I didn't clip that.
Got close.
you got close. Do you want me to try to clip it?
Go ahead. Are you ready? Oh, that's a good clip.
That is off the chart. Yes.
Anyways,
If there's one thing I like about Korn, it's the bass playing.
well, that's the thing I was gonna say is the bass playing all sounds like it kind of follows the kick drum.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it's hard to discern the bass playing from the kick drum in it. That's what I was gonna say until I was so rudely interrupted.
Well, I had to make sure you were ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. Jonathan Davis not here.
Yeah.
I know that was flawless, but he's not here.
I don't like their music, but Jonathan Davis seems like he'd be a fun guy to hang out with.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Spring Collection was my favorite song on the record. Like going through this time, I thought it was a good high energy number, but I understand the points that the two of you are going to make for the last song on the side, Letter from Hero, being the best song.
Yeah, Letter from Hero was my favorite. Steve and I said it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, this one I thought was dripping with emotion and was very intentional in its use of like Japanese sounding ideas, because there was a moment where the guitar was playing, and either he was playing it in a way, or there was an effect on it that made it sound like a different Japanese instrument. I'm not sure which one it was, but
Yeah, that sounded really good.
yeah, that sounded really cool. And then there were moments where the guitar was playing melodies that were very inspired by Japanese culture, but it wasn't like a blunt force trauma like trope like in Turning Japanese, or as I mentioned during that Passage from Bangkok.
Yeah.
Who did it better?
The Vapors, because Passage from Bangkok is the worst Rush song. But yeah, no, like when you hear the do 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 do, like in Turning Japanese, you're trying to figure out whether or not the song is racist. With a letter from Hero, though, you don't think that ever. It's really like interesting and tasteful and fits the song. It's
it had my favorite line where it said age of reason is out to lunch.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I also liked how like kind of like understated and wistful the vocals started, but then at some points when the song required it to like gauge up in intensity, like there's a part like where he just like in desperation started like shouting nothing. That was amazing.
Yeah. And then I'm wondering if it was because we looked up that the Emperor Hiro Ito.
Yeah.
So that's probably who it's about, because it's a letter from Hiro that arrives too late or something like that.
I just got a sense that it was like people that felt abandoned by their leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking it could have been like because we did give the Japanese a warning that we were going to drop the bombs and that they needed to evacuate like areas that we were going to drop it. And the Japanese government didn't believe us. Like, there's no fucking way, you know?
Yeah.
They're just thinking, oh, there's no way, there's nothing that could do that. And they're like, yes, there is. We have it.
Yeah.
And if you don't if you don't surrender, then we're gonna drop it. And then, so yeah. I mean, I won't go into all that. It's not a history podcast, it's a music podcast.
But I think they were referencing that. Yeah.
But it also could have been too, because Pearl Harbor had kind of the same thing. Because Pearl Harbor, they told us they were gonna attack, like they gave us a warning, but the person that was translating from Japanese to English was like a slow typer, so we didn't get the warning about Pearl Harbor until after the attack was done. So that also could have been what this is referencing. But I think with the nuclear war type thing, I think it's more, I'm pretty sure it's like the other one where it's like he didn't warn his people that the bombs were coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a sad song, but I liked that it gave like the whole like as a tone piece, it gave it a lot of room to breathe, like to be sad, to be angry, to have a sense of desperation of giving up. It was a really good closer. It was a really good side closer in the original pressings of the album. It was the album closer in the UK version, and I think it would have worked best as the last song. But hey, it's good it wasn't a song that was cut.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what side 2 brings for us here.
That's a lot of non-album singles. Like I know Prisoners was like an early single that wasn't on the UK pressing of the album, and it's one of the stronger songs. So
I almost feel like the track listing here feels like it's telling its own story. Like News at 10, somehow, Prisoners, Trains, and Bunkers. So it's like
that implies
you get the news.
Yeah.
That somehow something happened, and then there's Prisoners and Trains, and then it ends in a bunker.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds
okay,
like, yeah.
so
Hitler.
I feel like the original one, because if we go through all the track listing on the original pressing for the UK,
Yeah.
it's the Spring Collection, Turning Japanese, Cold War, America, Trains, Bunkers, then News at 10, somehow, 60-second interval, Waiting for the Weekend, and then a letter from Hero. So that sounds like a more cohesive album, like what they were trying to say. Because I don't even think Cold War in America is on this one.
No,
I don't think Somehow is either. No, Somehow is. It's on that other one. So yeah, I think the two tracks we're really missing are Cold War in America.
Yeah. I'm guessing they didn't bring that over because they're critical.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we'll listen to those after we finish this side, just to get the whole picture, even if it's not in the original album order. But yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Well,
we'll see.
We'll see. That's the thing about this podcast. We keep you on your toes.
Yes.
We might have a fourth guest by the time it comes back. No, not really, but.
All right.
All right,
so
here we go.
Side 2. Did we already say the track?
Oh, we did, but we didn't. But it was in kind of a different context. So we have like News at 10, Somehow. Wait, nope, that's the original one. News at 10, Somehow, Prisoners, Trains and Bunkers.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be And we're back.
Living in a bunker.
Yeah, and we're back from our bunker. We have our assault rifles and our cans of beans, and we know better than the preppers in Texas in that we are all analog for our can openers, baby. We can get into them if there's a power outage.
Well, people think we're just as hicky as people in Texas, though, because we're from Nebraska.
Yeah, I think there are the ratio of Hicks to non-Hicks in Texas and Nebraska are probably about the same.
Yeah, when
you city boys, I grew up in the country.
yeah,
where the real Nebraska is.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah,
but it's not
Is
far
the
off
governor
what
in the
I
room?
used to tell people when I was in the military, because I would always say I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and they'd be like, "Oh, you live in a farm?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, there's two types of Nebraska. There's Omaha, Nebraska, and then there's the rest of Nebraska.
yeah, and Lincoln is part of Omaha for this.
Yeah, because it's only 60 miles away.
Yeah,
Or 40 miles away, something like that.
yeah. It takes less than an hour to get there.
One of my favorite places to play shows is in Lincoln. So yeah, it's also the city. Well, I'd say that was a pretty damn good side. I enjoyed it more than the other side for the most part, just because the other side was they grouped together like all the poppier songs, and I felt they kind of did that for the American audience. They determined for whatever reason, let's put the single first. The song that hooked them, and then we need the soft songs for the soft American audience. And it was almost the opposite on the British pressing. I think I would probably prefer the UK order when and if I listen to this album. When I listen to this album again.
Yeah, I need to check this out. This is the only version of the album I know because this is the version that I bought for $8. But yeah this is
the. I looked it up in like the streaming services. It's all the UK version.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, which makes sense. That's how that's how streaming services decide to do most things nowadays, which is, I think, for the best. It's the original intent for how it's supposed to be listened to, and usually more thought is put into the flow by the bands themselves. While oftentimes when they change up the order, like from a UK to a US one, it's done a lot of the times by the label, I think. So
yeah, like the infamous Revolver by the Beatles, the US cut is like considered one of the worst albums that the Beatles released, because it's like 10 songs and it's probably like 15 minutes shorter than the original. And they like cut out all the good songs on the US printing of Revolver. So when British people are like, "Oh, Revolver's like their best," and the US people are like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, that kind of meddling is annoying.
Yeah,
there have been a lot of baffling decisions made by record companies who are only looking at it from a monetary perspective, where I prefer typically I prefer the artistic viewpoints when it comes to album orders, because sometimes just the record executives don't take into account that there might have been a vibe or a story or something. So yeah, kind of annoying, but something that I think is largely over with, since now, like, when albums go out, they go out to everybody at the same time. I can't think of too many modern albums that have done this.
Yeah, and then, like, I honestly wish that when things moved to CDs, when there were different US and UK pressings, that they would just stick with the original one from whichever country and include any different tracks as bonus tracks. I think that was the way to go, and it's frustrating how oftentimes that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a really solid side, a lot of really fun songs.
They're really high energy compared to the first side.
And they were all pretty different from each other, except they were all fast. Like, I can't think of a song on this whole record that dips below mid-tempo, and most of them are higher than that.
Two of them I described as surfy and menacing, so
yeah.
That gives you an idea.
Well, I thought News at 10 was a great side opener. So.
It really was. Yeah, I liked this. This one was the most drum-forward song, I think, on the whole record, and I really liked how much they did with the drums, like the rolling on the chorus, and yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it had a similar energy to Turning Japanese. It just didn't have the gimmicks of it, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
I thought it was a better song than Turning Japanese.
Yeah, a lot of this side has more of the energy of Turning Japanese, but none of them felt like novelty songs, except maybe Somehow, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But it was all like, I think this was just a really strong side full of a lot of like the nervy, edgy post-punk that you didn't get quite as much on the first side.
When I talk to older generations about like listening to albums, some of them will talk about how they started with side B instead of listening to the first side. So it kind of became their first side. And I think if I had a copy of this record, I'd probably start with side B most of the time.
Yeah. Although, have to check that with the UK version, but yeah.
It'd be different with the UK version. No, with the UK version, I would start with side one, because as Sean noted while we were listening to it, like pretty much all of the songs from this side were moved to side one, more or less. So, yeah, I'm probably going to listen to it with that order, but I suspect I'll like that order better.
Yeah. News at 10, though, it was a
good opener.
Yeah. Good solid song. And
I'm just gonna spoil right now. My least favorite song on the whole record was Turning Japanese.
Yeah. It really was. Like, it was
like the weakest song.
It's catchy, but it's a gimmicky novelty song when none of the rest of the album is that. And
the rest of the album actually has a message. It's almost sad that their big hit was the song that was the gimmick.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're frustrated by that too.
I bet they were.
Man, I hate that fucking song.
Hey, at least it's not like fucking Cherry Pie by Warrant. Like, that guy apologized for that song.
You know what? Fuck Warrant. They deserve that fucking song.
Yeah. Yeah, what's a good Warrant song?
Chirp, chirp.
Yeah. But yeah, Somehow...
That's one of the ones I described as a menacing sounding surf song. But then it broke into like some poppier moments. It sounded like he was having some like relationship regrets.
Yeah, it reminded me of Oingo Boingo, even though Oingo Boingo hadn't put out their first album at this point. So something was in the water. It was like Oingo Boingo without the horns and with a better vocalist. Danny Elfman became a pretty good vocalist, but he wasn't in the early days of Oingo Boingo. And so it was really cool. I have like that bouncy yet dark factor to it that was in it. The keyboards on the chorus were amazing. The guitar tone was great, and it almost functioned. The lead guitar almost filled the same function in an Oingo Boingo song that the horn section would. And so,
I thought it was a nice, menacing sounding song. I thought it sounded like a love song at the end of the world kind of thing. That's kind of what it sounded like to me. Like you were saying with the like love regrets and all that, and it just sounded like like if you were like the world's about to end and you're like, I regret not, being with you or something like that. That's what it sounded like to me,
Dave.
but I could be wrong. Are you looking it up?
No, you're probably not going to get this joke, but Dave, remember the H Bomber Guy episode on Loss?
Yes.
Remember how he described the end of the Control-Alt-Delete comic where he has to say goodbye to Lila to save the world and he presses a button on the machine and it kills him?
Yes.
That's what this song's about.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't got it. I don't get it.
That's for our older millennial or our younger millennial audience.
Yeah.
I never watched Lost. I wasn't into the whole thing. Actually, I think it.
No, we're describing a webcomic called Control-Alt-Delete.
Something far stupider.
Yeah.
Oh.
Far stupider.
I never got into webcomics, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm above it. I'm just saying I never got into them. So
You're better off not knowing about that one.
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Why is there a fucking smile on my face? That was Rage. Rage Against the Machine.
Yes. Prisoners, speaking of Raging Against a Machine.
This one I wrote big punk energy.
Yeah, this was the punkiest song. It was an early non-album single that they put on the U.S. release. Really good. I like the "We're All Prisoners Here" lyric. It's a good song to pogo to, or even to mosh if you want to. It was.
I felt it in my soul because it was like he was talking about being a prisoner, but he's like a prisoner in the army because he's like, I got a rifle here or something like that. I heard something like that. And I'm like, oh, I feel that.
I was gonna say that's like your song then.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's like, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, you're given high-powered weaponry and lose a lot of freedom as a result. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You have no choice used to be our tagline when I was in the military.
Yeah. Just why I thought it was funny that was around the time when like the recruitment posters were saying Army of One. Like you had some kind of autonomy. Yeah.
Dude, okay, so they really, like, the drill sergeants had a fucking heyday because it came out like when I was going through basic, and the drill sergeants had the fucking heyday with that Army of One. They're like, "Are you an Army of One? Are you fucking Rambo? What
No,
the fuck
sir.
are you
Yeah.
doing, drill?
Yeah.
Nothing, drill sergeant." It was funny.
God.
Yeah.
With how much anarchist leanings I have, when I think about the times when I almost joined the military because I didn't have any other options, I think about how laughable that would have been. Because I don't. I mean, they might have forced me into place, but it wouldn't have been easy.
They beat a lot of it out of you, but I also don't know. I don't see you lasting in the military.
Okay, think about how fucking nuts I am. just think about that. Do you think that, like, I'm really, like, a military person? Like, just...
Yeah.
like, I mean, if you think I made it through, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can make it through. Because you don't... I didn't join the fucking Marines. I joined the Army. There's a difference. The Marines are a little bit more... Sorry, Marines out there, if you're a Marine. They're a little bit more, like, gung-ho and, like... You know, they're the few, the proud of Marines. You know, they're more like the Army of One logo. I think Army should have just stuck with Go Army because that was that was what it was before.
Well,
but yeah, so it's not the complete brainwash that most people think it is. The worst part is basic training, and then once you get through basic, it's like a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm wondering though with Steve though, like, did you know about all your mental health issues at the times though that you were thinking of joining?
Nope.
So that's why I don't think you would have necessarily made it through basic, because you had some undiagnosed stuff going on that maybe they would have caught it and treated it, and then maybe you could have made it. But
well, I think with the medications I currently take, a job like that might be possible. But
It could be, yeah.
I don't know. At the time,
Something to focus on, yeah.
At the time, I was very, very anti-Iraq war. I'm still very anti-Iraq war, of course. But
Yeah.
but back then, I mean, I would show up in my little rural Nebraska school, and I'd like wear a protest armband about how much I was against the Iraq war. To which all the rednecky students would be like, "If you don't love it, leave it." And I'd be like, "Are you paying for me to leave it? Because I would take you up on that offer."
Did any of those guys though who did that? Did they join the military to go to Iraq after high school? Because if not,
a big portion of my classes.
You'd
yeah.
be surprised. Because, see, I joined in June of 2001.
right. So
I was in
before
basic
9/11.
training when 9/11 happened. There was no Iraq war when I joined. There was no 9/11 when I joined. And then that, on my post, like when it happened, I felt the world change.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. My cousin joined basically around the same time as you, right before 9/11. And, I mean, from everybody's perspective, I'm sure you're all like, well, I mean, the 90s were relatively peaceful, so, you know, there's probably no problem joining the military, make a few bucks, go through college, and then suddenly we're like, we're going to do an imperialism. So,
Yeah,
That's kind of how it happened, because I was thinking, I'm going to do my 4 years and get out, and then 9/11 happened. Then I went to Korea, and then I came in 2001, and then I came back from Korea, went to Fort Hood, and the Iraq War started.
yay!
Yeah. I just noticed that, like, a lot of, at least in the media, a lot of the loudest voices of people doing the love it or leave it stuff are people who are too old to join the military or would never join the military too.
Yeah.
So there was this
Yeah.
one guy we called Old Man, because which is funny because I'm probably older than he was at the time. He was he looked like an old man, but he was like in his late 20s.
Yeah.
He just looked old. He was an alcoholic too. Anyways, doesn't matter. He joined because in 2003 after the Iraq War happened, because he's like, I want to, get over there and get me some killing done.
I knew some guys that thought about that, and I haven't interacted with any of them in the present day. But I wonder how many people go in thinking, I'm gonna go kill some Iraqis, and then they come back scarred.
Or they end up washing out of the psych exam, or yeah.
Well, yeah. At the time I was in, they started doing because there wasn't obviously there was a war started, so the recruitment was slowed down to almost a halt. So they were doing a lot of stop loss at the time, and then I did get recalled for a week, and then they sent me back home.
Yeah, I remember the recruiters at the time were really aggressive. Somehow they got my personal cell phone number, and I get calls from all 4 branches trying to get me to join. One guy was just like, "Oh yeah, career in the Marines really would help your music career."
Oh yeah, they were like, "Oh, you can join the Army band."
I'm like, I don't play that kind of music.
When I graduated high school the year after 9/11, and the recruiter, I had a Marines recruiter following me around to Best Buy, he was trying to solicit me for sex or sell me drugs.
Hey kid, want a little imperialism?
Yeah. And that
First taste is free.
I think how much that creeped me out might have set a trajectory in my life. But yeah.
Well, I always said my biggest joke was they're so they always say my recruiter lied to me, that was the biggest thing. And so when they had to say, "Hey, what'd your recruiter do?" and I said, "He gave me the sandpaper condom treatment." I was bleeding for weeks.
Yeah.
Out my asshole.
Yeah, I think they do get I do think when you're 18, they get your contact information through Selective Service.
Yeah, because when you register,
Oh yeah, I had to register for that because I wanted to go to college.
For Selective Service.
I wasn't going to at first until I saw the warning that if you don't, then you're not going to be able to get a FAFSA loan.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing it because of that. But that was something that I would have been prepared to. My very idealistic 18-year-old self was prepared to fight that. Probably not, but that's what he thought.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it until my mom was like, you gotta sign up for this thing. And I'm like, what's that thing? When I was 18, when I turned 18, she's like, you gotta sign up for the Selective Service. I'm like, what's that? She's like, if there's ever a war, it's the draft. And I'm like, I don't want to sign up for the fucking draft.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, you have to do it. It's by law. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Well, when Iraq happened, I thought for sure I was getting drafted.
You know, they talked about it but like the draft was so unpopular during Vietnam that they decided to. I think that's why it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's not like Iraq War was a popular war either.
Right. Yeah.
But I think the difference between the Iraq War, they learned some lessons from Vietnam, which was they translated it later on to the first Gulf War. Which was, remember that they did the ribbons thing, the yellow ribbons, like supported the troops. So they were basically saying like, you may not support the war, but you need to support the troops.
Yeah, I remember.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a good lesson, you know, and like instead of like, you know, being spit on, like every time I went through an airport, people were like, hey, thank you for your service. Which got really annoying. And I'm just going to say, don't do that. Veterans hate that.
Yeah. And like the whole spitting on thing didn't really happen is part of it too.
I don't think it was as prominent as people think. But there were some people that were very anti-war that like thought that they thought of the troops as like Nazis.
It's like it's like yelling at the cashier. Like, don't yell at the cashier.
Yeah. But and then a lot of the anti-war movement during the Vietnam War was a lot of vets who came home was like, hey, this is really fucked up. So yeah.
Yeah. Because they felt like prisoners.
Because they felt like prisoners. Yeah.
Back on topic.
Trains. I was expecting this to be a political song because it's been a year or so since I listened to the album, so I didn't remember a lot of details. But it was kind of like a long distance relationship or recent breakup type of song. And I think If Turning Japanese is that kind of song, like it is often interpreted as. This is a companion piece to it. But I like the Nuclear War interpretation of Turning Japanese better, so we'll say it's not.
I was thinking it was like Trains to the Concentration Camp.
Yeah.
You said yourself on a previous episode that songs can be about two things.
They can be about two things. It probably is. But yeah, it's but yeah, I liked the driving train beat. I liked how the lead guitar was kind of like the American blues rock type of tone, which is different from the rest of the album. Just fun for a song about trains. It was just a fun song. I don't feel like there's as much to say lyrically about it as some of the others.
Yeah, I think it was more. I don't want to say throwaway song, but I want to say more of a. Okay, we're getting a little too serious. Let's have a nice little upbeat love song kind of thing.
Yeah,
I thought this
concentration camps.
Yeah,
I thought this one had a really big like on the last one I put big punk energy. For this one I put big post-punk energy. And then I thought it also kind of sounded like, what if the first wave of punk went post-punk?
Yeah. And then Bunkers.
Another surfy but menacing song.
Probably my favorite song on the record, at least this listen through.
I was saying that I think that this one and Letter to Hero or Letter from Hero was probably my favorite.
I'm not sure if I could pick between the two since the vibes were so different. But yeah, both the closers are my favorites.
I liked the intensity. I liked the paranoid nature of the lyrics. it kind of like musically it reminded me a little bit of Lust for Life by Iggy Pop, and so that's always good. Maybe it was the way the drums and the bass started in the intro. Yeah, it's
a fun song.
Yeah, really awesome song.
I wonder if we'll be able to drive Donald Trump into his bunker again.
You mean Mar-a-Lago with the golden toilet filled with surrounded by classified documents?
I had the best classified documents in the world. The CIA came in. They said, these are the best classified documents ever.
Kid Rock agreed with me. They were so great he didn't want to see them because he was afraid he'd go to prison.
I like that picture of Kid Rock that says, Kid Rock now looks like if Dr. Phil was trying to dress up as Kid Rock.
He does.
Oh, that little bitch. I never liked him, even back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I saw him live once, and it was shit.
I feel vindicated always always thought he was boring. Yeah.
No, it was Rockfest at the West Fair, and I think like the first 2 songs in, his guitarist like blew his knee out. And so then the guitarist from Buck Cherry came on and they played. It actually sounded better, but Buck Cherry sucked too. So
Yeah, I don't like them. Every time that song "Crazy Bitch" is one of those songs that when it comes on, it's like nails to a chalkboard to me.
Well, this was before that song when I saw him. It was
good.
It was the cocaine song that got him famous at that time.
I see. I heard the song that Kid Rock did that sampled the Metallica riff before I heard the Metallica song. So I got retroactively mad about that.
Yeah, Bunkers though. Like I really liked it. It was the standout for me this listen through.
Great album closer.
Yeah, fantastic.
I know it's the side one closer on the other one, and I would perhaps make one change and keep this one the album closer, but obviously I'm not in charge of that decision. So,
well, I thought it was a very doom and gloom, upbeat song about the end of the world.
Surfy but menacing.
Surfy but menacing. It is.
Speed it up. You have yourself a black metal song.
It is oddly comforting to hear songs about people going through their government shifting far right right now at a different time. To know that that didn't end up working out too well for the UK. Their country is a complete mess because of Thatcher still. But to know that there's, I don't know, something you can hold on to at some point, that other people have been through this and we can try to find a way to help people out through it too. But yeah.
Or we'll all end up in bunkers.
Or we'll all end up in bunkers. I've been buying just like canned goods since since COVID, but a lot since we've had like a bunch of power outages too. So just in case. So I'm slowly entering my prepper arc. So I own a gun.
It's going to be interesting.
It is.
We're in the accelerationist timeline.
Yeah. But yeah, this is when you're in the accelerationist timeline, you can listen to a lot of music from other people who have gone through different accelerationist timelines.
And then, of course, there's going to be people making their own. And
yeah.
We're going to have some probably legendary bangers to look back on after this storm hopefully passes.
Hopefully.
I don't know. I'm not too hopeful. Like, a lot of the music that comes out today is fucking terrible.
We didn't get, like, in 2017, we didn't get, like, the great anti-Trump album, really.
No.
Like, yeah.
Like, all the people that tried to do it, it just sounded weak.
Yeah. I think, like...
And we were also going through a music desert at that time, too.
Yeah. And music is, like... General, like, radio pop music is better now than it was in 2017. But I don't know if everyone's equipped to, you know, like, write the great... I don't know if we have, like, the CCR's fortunate son of this generation to deal with this kind of thing, you know?
Like, I don't see, like, Chapel Roan doing that shit.
I could maybe. But yeah.
I don't know.
Most of her stuff is more personal as part of it too. Like, yeah.
Well, she looks like she's stuck in the 1700s.
Yeah.
In a vaudevillian aspect.
I do like
a vaudevillian.
She does. I do think it's weird that people like to compare her music to Kate Bush's, because I like Chapel Roan. I do. Like, I think Good Luck Babe is one of the great breakup songs of our time. And it's like a brand new one, but I don't think she sounds like Kate Bush. I think people just think, oh, weird woman making art pop music. I have to compare her to one who did that a long time ago, and it sounds different to me. It's not Kate Bush. Listen to Nuclear Days by the Vapors. It's a great album. Their next album is pretty good too. Don't remember it as much, and then they just stop. But yeah, they were a good band who probably deserved better. They definitely deserved to be more of a cult band than a one-hit wonder, even though they did probably make a good amount of money off of being a one-hit wonder. I think they deserve to be like little indie darlings rather than be known for a novelty song.
Yeah, if you're expecting an album full of just turning Japanese, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're looking for an album that has some beautifully written 80s produced British pop songs mixed with a bunch of like post-punk songs with high energy, you won't be disappointed.
Honestly, I would say listen to this album, but skip Turning Japanese.
Because you've heard it enough already.
You've heard it before.
Like, it's fine, but it's not
fine.
essential.
Yeah, skip Turning Japanese and listen to the rest of the album.
If you're doing the American version, just start on track 2.
Yeah, and if you're doing the British version, just listen to track 1, skip track 2, and then continue.
Yeah.
I think...
you can masturbate to the record without that song.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll really twist your giblets.
Yeah.
I do wonder how would the album have sounded like if you go by the British track list and swap out Turning Japanese for Prisoners.
Probably better.
Probably much better.
It would have been more cohesive because your initial thing saying that Turning Japanese sticks out like a sore thumb. It really does.
Yeah, none of the rest of the album sounds like it, and even the songs that have similar energy don't sound like it. Yeah,
and they're all better.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me when we did the Bowie compilation. You're like, yeah, it started out with the big song that everybody knows, and then an album of completely different things.
Yeah, and Space Oddity was a good song, but it didn't match what he did with most of the rest of his career after that.
I'd imagine much like that album, I bet you there were a bunch of people that bought this record for Turning Japanese and never let the needle go past that point.
Yeah, and then they got sick of it and sold it
for $8.
For $8
to one very happy owner.
Yes,
Dave,
you're
a hero.
Yes,
you're my hero. You need to send me a letter.
Yes, a letter from Hero. Yes. Anywho, that was Nuclear Days by the Vapors. This was side 1, side B. Catch you on the flip side.
Love it. You know, I was disappointed when I saw the Misfits because one of the guitar players for the Misfits at the time was one of the former members, I think, of Black Flag.
Oh, Des Cadena?
Yeah, so it was like Black Flag, Jerry Only, and then Robo, I think, was the drummer who was also in Black Flag.
Was that the show with the Dead Kennedys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that same show.
And I was disappointed because no one knew at the time, but he had already quit the Misfits, and so it was Jerry Only's son playing guitar.
Oh, at that show?
Yeah.
I don't really remember a thing about it. So.
I thought the sound was shit.
I remember I thought it was weird seeing punk in an arena like that.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah.
What was that show? That was
Mid-America Center.
Yeah, but that was it
had a name. I forgot what it was called.
That would have been
6 rounds of punk or something like that.
2012, 2013. No, it would have been 2014.
I'm trying to remember who all was there though. It was
The Vandals.
Vandals, that was who I was trying to remember.
Who's that one California punk band?
Fear?
No. They're like a skater punk band.
Agent Orange?
No.
No.
So it's funny because
Adolescence?
I think no. Fuck me.
DI?
No. I saw DI though at they were at
Yeah, they were at
the underground.
yeah.
The underground.
The Lookout.
The Lookout. Yes.
Yeah. Or the Hideout, whichever
Hideout.
one it
I
was
think
at
it
that
was the
time.
Hideout at the time.
Yeah.
Side 1, Side B with Dave and Steve is a Floof Goof Studios production. You could find us on Instagram at KillRockMusicSWS and Dave_Diction. You can find us on Bluesky at KillRock Music and Beastmaster General. Check out our musical projects, The Alliterates and Lucid Fugue, on all major streaming platforms, and links to each at my website, killrockmusic.com. That's KILRAVOCK music.com. This also includes my past projects, Megaton and Valley of Shadows, and my current solo project, Kill Rock. You can also find Dave's past project, Gong Farmer, at GONGFERMOUR.bandcamp.com. Thanks.
Everyone we worked with is dead.
Really ripped.
Yeah.
I need to change my pants.
Check. Leonard Bernstein. I hate it so much I skipped the whole Destroyer.
Allow me to play you out.
Dirty Dave just pooped his pants.
Yes, indeed. Perfect hooker murdering song.
Kick out the jail, motherfucker!